Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'd like to welcome you to today's lunchtime seminar series. And today we have a very, very special guest. And this is Benon. TWINAMASIKO. I first met Benon, strangely enough, in a project which was about integrating ICTs in the teaching of science and mathematics. And he did an excellent job for us in that project. And since then, we have maintained links. And I'm glad that he's here today to share with us on his experiences in using MUELE as a teacher of physics. So I'd like us to join our hands together and welcome Benon to share with us his insights. Benon will have at most 20 minutes to share with us, and then after that we'll have another 10 or 20 minutes to talk about, to ask questions and to raise issues in response to this presentation. So Benon, you're welcome. These are colleagues from the College of Education and External Studies. Majority are from the Department of Open and Distance Learning. There's not enough time, but maybe at the end we can quickly introduce ourselves. We will begin by listening to you. Welcome, Benon.
Thank you. I will be a bit rushy because I have 100 slides.
Wow.
So, and then in addition to the 100 slides, I'll be able to share with you, to show you MUELE, because I've already downloaded the files onto my, not downloaded, but opened the web pages on my computer. They are sort of experiences, but I'll mostly make sure that I share with you about the technologies which are used in learning and teaching. Being that the people who are championing this, I felt like if I can share with you. And for your information, Professor Physicist never told me again where we met. I got a thorough training for a whole year in open distance eLearning there. And so I'll be so quick. Why online education? We see this as enhanced learning. More learning resources can be, integrated in such more resources can be put in this. You can also involve independent learners, and also you can have flexible learning. I can even learn when I'm in a bar, as long as I have my computer and I'm not drunk. Global competition, if we don't do it, others will do it. So if you just sit here in open distance learning department and you think you are the bosses, another one can do it, either in CIT or in physics or anywhere in the region. And we don't need much space. As long as a student accesses a computer, whether it's on a canteen, he can still access credible materials as long as they are from a credible source. And you need to plan for these technologies and understand the importance of learning when adopting technology. I was making a comment that it is open distance learning, but there are a bunch of copiers all over around. And you should be championing MUELE. So you have to have a strategy for technology. And why should you have a technology plan? It's like if you don't have an agenda for a meeting, really that meeting is pretty useless. And just like the teacher cannot teach without a lesson plan which has no objectives. And if you acquire and implement technology without a plan, you risk making an implementation which is not effective. So you have to define the needs and requirements in adopting this technology. It is not about computers only, so you can't say we don't have modern computers. You also need to have to talk about the people technologies which are going to be used. I think I'm going to present to you about Facebook sometime, and the processes that you have to go through. It is a living document, this technology plan, and it should be able to present your vision for technology adoption. And it has different models and strategies. Who prepares it? You should be able to make it institutional. If you make it a departmental issue, then you may not be able to encourage all of us in the other part. We may say that is for distance education. And these members should be committed, and the process is as important as the plan itself. So you have to make sure that you involve all of us in such a technology plan. Ideally, the technology plan is tied to a larger institution planning process. That's why previously, when we look at eLearning, we need to produce, it shouldn't just remain in eLearning unified, the whole institutional project. Of course, before you do that, you have to do needs assessment, and that's what I think one of the projects called. That's what we are trying to do. And it's distinct from technology itself. It has to be able to give you a feedback, and it has to include administrators, faculty, although we are colleges, means members of the given department or college, and also the technical staff and partners should also be understanding what is happening. Otherwise, if you keep seeing eLearning, and the parent doesn't believe that the child needs a computer for accessing materials, you wouldn't be able to. And I think in course, I told you about the slides, so if I'm quick, they will still post this on your seminar series, so you'll be able to go through that. They gather information, they are able to organize it according to priority and make a document. And they were able to make like this information and put it in a policy format to show people what they need. And this will help you to get the essentials and what is nice to have. And this could be changed to meet the requirements for your application or implementation later. And the most detailed lengthy step is the consultation process. It should be as wide as possible. Watch out for people who are half-hearted or some who are overzealous like me, because they will leave you behind. You seek out for qualitative information, the number of courses, the number of faculties, the number of users. You say these days you click on MUELE and then you say you hear something too busy with red stuff. And you can prepare findings, put in a report as Paul did, use a format that is suitable for you, and there is no right way to implement that. You should be able to choose how people can use it to. And you pretend that once it is finished, it will be used by anybody else. Don't think you are building something for you as an individual. Remember that somebody else can be able to implement. So that means it should be a standalone document. So what technology to be used, which computers will be using, this room should now be having a wireless internet. All of you shouldn't be able to just sit and be able to surf as we go on. And the situation analysis provides a picture of the gap between your vision and your current reality. If you all wanted to make sure we have a big screen here static and accessed by everybody, you look at the strengths, the weaknesses, and opportunities, and see the threats. They are going to be people who will be entering our courses and destroying them. And is technology currently available? How technology currently used in teaching? What support services are available? We have distance education in our department, and I was amazed whereby they get materials, if lucky, they disappear, no one talks to them. When they come, they are green, like I think they are about to come to do the exam. So how technology acquisitions occur, what training currently conducted for faculty members. We did training, some of us who like our household remember as in the department, because they don't know the beauty in using MUELE. And the pedagogical, for your information, my background degree is in education. So that's why at the back of my mind I take care of the pedagogical considerations. My colleague in chemistry just puts there his PDFs and PowerPoints on each week, and he's done. Doesn't care whether he has put the objectives and the like. The theory is to consider the behaviorism, cognitism, and constructivism, and the faculty will utilize technology in different ways depending on underlying learning theory. Depends on which department is going to. So the professional development is critical for this component of the plan. One-off training activities are not effective, particularly for technology. So you need to make sure everyone is at par. The plan should be encourage the culture of learning and exploration. And evergreening, refreshing, you must plan to keep your technology infrastructure up to date. If you have installed a given operating system, you need to make sure that you have the security patches and the like. And the policy should decide whether the purpose is to replace technology or to maintain it at an acceptable level, or to acquire improved speed and capacity and an acceptable price, or a combination of the two. So the more we look at it in an institutional way, the more it becomes something that we own. So as technology leaders, we will be responsible for the implementation. Projects should be formulated based on the goals. Principles of good project management should apply. And when eventually you have implemented projects implemented, you should use technology to monitor and assess. For example, in curriculum and psychology, objectives now should be done in a way because the marking is done by the system. So why would you be at this point still giving papers to SACO and then eventually you start typing ABEB when the system can process? You just go and export the results to your Excel file and be able to use them. You should use both formative and summative evaluation to consider how the technology is assisting in learning, improving, is it improving the outcomes, changing the people's attitudes, or effective learning skills. And in summary about we're talking about the plan, is the technology plan is a critical component in the effective adoption of technology. Plan development is very useful process, contributing to a shared view of the goals and priorities. And the plan itself is a living document. It should be regularly reviewed if new technologies come, and if the new other things, either hardware or software, then you'll be able to put it in place and update. That was really speedy, that you will be able to go through in the building. So the communication tools which we use, which we are supposed to be using in ODEL or ODL, whichever case you want to use it, a bunch of them, but I believe most of us are used to the first one and the second one, and probably the second last. And the most commonly used here, I think, in distance learning is the last one, video podcast. Podcasting is the same as what they are trying to do here. It's, after processing this audio, then they will be able to use it. Listserv is the academic staff and the staff lists, the way you just send one email and you are sure that the whole university has been able to see it. Live collaboration tools is like Illuminate Live. Blogs is when you keep taking a log on the internet and someone sees wikis, audio conference, video conference. I believe in these few years to come, we should be at the level of the audio and video conferencing. By now, we should be having a camera, and some people somewhere should have been, able to enjoy our stuff. And streaming live is like what the current TVs are using. Ustream and YouTube to stream the programs live. This can be in two classifications, asynchronous and synchronous. Synchronous means I'm able to communicate with you at the same point. Asynchronous means I send an email, I can't know whether they got it or not. I do a blog, I'm not sure whether they read it or not. That is the asynchronous part. But the synchronous, if it is an audio conference, I'm able to talk to you, you talk to me. It could be on Skype, streaming live. You are sure that they will watch you at that point. If you make a comment or if they are giving feedback, they can either a link where they can talk back. you'll be able to see that information. So this is just a summary of, a detail of academic stuff and staff list. I put all of them there in their explanations because once you share the PowerPoint, you'll be able to, and this is just an example of an email. I hope I didn't put my details there. And it can be an internet forum where you can have a discussion. A blog is also there. This is an example of a blog, a wiki. The wiki is an example of Wikipedia. And a wiki, which is also known as a Wikilog, weblog, or a Wikiblog, or a blogging. A podcast, which is a collection of digital media files, which is distributed over the internet, as you are doing already. And the really simple syndication, RSS feeds, which always just, you are on the internet and you see headlines of given newspapers just popping up. There are links for the news which are happening. Paper-based, everyone enjoys this. I have people who always put their stuff on the photocopy and they are busy saying, my notes are on the photocopy, I go and photocopy. And the students always post with the notes and say, we got the notes. And then the singleness is like a one-way communication. When you're on radio, you may not, when you bring in the talking as in phoning, you can be able to now synchronize the communication. And then we have currently moving to phoning participation. A long time ago, you would only just talk on radio. If they have listened or not, you wouldn't care. But nowadays, people phoning at the end, the people in the station answer questions and they listen. I think someone had commented that people in queues will now put in audio and video conferencing. I'm well aware that barefoot lawyers are trying to make video conferencing their free services to the community about law issues. UMI is already having a conference. The NITA UG, which is implementing the e-governance, which was supposed to reduce the costs of moving from here to the embedded to just have the board meeting. That is the way to go for audio and video conferencing. Streaming media is being done mostly on the internet, and then web conferencing is when you have that opinion like on TV, and then people argue about the issue, answer each other. And then this brings me to exactly what my theme was talking about, which is the learning management systems. They are both those which are commercial and which are free. So a learning management system like MUELE, we tend to say is MUELE because it is Makerere University eLearning environment, but actually we use the baseline of MUELE, which is the learning management system, and the term used to describe software tools designed to manage user learning innovation. So you are sure you'll be able to capture students' names, students' participation, monitor their activities with this. So all this you'll be able to find out that these management systems just go beyond conventional training, management, and reporting. In a given class, you only enter and maybe ask them to introduce themselves, make them, write on their papers, their names, sign, whatever. But here you go beyond that, as you shall see how I'm using it. Open source and web-based learning management system solutions are growing fast, especially like MUELE. And of course, examples of such open source learning management systems are Twitter open source work, Caroline, Lecos, FLA3, whatever. And Kewell was a little bit, this one here, was introduced a little bit here, but it lost, I think, steam. I will just make a small comment that we like doing things because of projects, and once the project is, then we also stop. And I'm more interested now on the MUELE, which is what we are using now, the open source course management system, and we use it as MUELE, which is Makerere University learning environment. So how am I using MUELE? I will show you later, but you need to keep students in the loop. So at the beginning of each of my courses, I will show you the videos later. I take videos in class and then I chop out the photos, then make a GIF, so that when a student opens my course page, he is able to keep in touch with me. There is that rapport between you, even if you are not together physically, but you are able to keep look at, and remember that machine. That machine there is an attendance machine. So students put their fingerprint and it allows them in my class. And I made a joke that if you want to go to my lecture, just cut off your finger, give it to a friend, you'll be able to work with it. And so all these, I put them here to show you how you can keep in touch. These are on top of my courses. And the other bit is in class, it is always hard really to, yes, I try to cram students' names, if I can say cram, or understand the students, but it is hard to get their two names and keep attaching them to a face. So what MUELE helps me about is to be able to have people's names. But why do I bring this? Is to show you that if you look at each student's admission letter or each of your transcripts, your last name is in capital. The other names are in small, so it is easy to identify whose last name, which last name is for a given person. I normally tell students, like, if you talk of Katumba, Wamala, or Kayengu Tafi, I don't know which one is his last name, or the one he places as a family name. So I am able to, if a student makes something funny, I may not say much, but when I go to my system, I look at the student and now get two names. If the same thing is done next, I'm able to at least say more than just saying you. I can say their names, and normally students get controlled when you do that. The other part is to be sure that if you have posted some materials, you are able to know that actually this was the list which I picked today. So someone had accessed maybe sometime yesterday, and for 18 hours, 52 minutes, I'm able to know that. I can get their email and contact them. So I don't need to hustle looking for how can I get this student. Even those who are finished, I can search in the system. If there's an opportunity, a start opportunity, I can write them an email and be able to be in touch. You can still get more bigger information, a bigger photo and more information, how and where they come from, and exactly when they accessed until when, and the exact time they were there. And you can also go their activity and be able to see where they clicked. So if you post the new notes, you'll be able to know how much they were able to access. So as you see that camera, I always put it in the class. I teach normally without any bother, and eventually I try to edit the videos. Sometimes they keep me busy. Some may not be able to come out, I don't know why, but I will open the one which can play later because my time is. I will open the one, but I just wanted to play this in here so that you were able to see what happened. So my camera is on the edge of the board of the table. I don't need any assistant. I just do my thing, and then when I go, I remove these things, the funny things and the abuses I make during the lecture. I'm a professional teacher, so I don't abuse my students. I want to abuse them nicely. That if I was not a teacher, I would have said you are stupid, but I'm a teacher, so they normally claim that I would abuse them. Okay, I will show you a better. So there are other commercial learning management systems which are enjoy desire to learn. Blackboard, you normally know very well. Before we went to MUELE, we graduated from Blackboard after our license expired. And I managed to participate in a training before I came here, and I was able to use the University of Ottawa learning management system as a student for 1 year during that program. So this is how we were able to to go through these modules, which were especially about quality assurance, quality assurance, performance. So we did a lot. Even we talked about marketing. You just being in open distance learning doesn't mean you just sit back and relax. You must make sure you get some pens which are written on, or IACE, whatever you call it now, or says. You get key holders. You do those things to market, make T-shirts. So that students, when they come for face-to-face, we shower them with these things. When they go there, people get that interest. And then, so this is the LumiNet Live. It is licensed, and once you use it, you are able to do a lot of things. So these were just things to share about the different technologies you can use here. For example, when you are implementing synchronous communication, you can make an account as a teacher, well, as a lecturer, just to chat with students specifically. That's either Yahoo or Hotmail or Skype, just for being a facilitator. And every time they call you, when they call on that account, you won't log in when you are at an agreed time, and be able to enhance their learning. And this is why we are not yet being able to make these paper-based materials we developed some time back and put them into electronic form so that they can come, give them CDs, and they go and be able to follow as if it is a web page and go through comfortably. This is just to show you the help desk. We should be having a help desk here, which you can use and be able to talk to students, ask their problems, know how far they should come, and I will be able to thank you for listening for now. I only open the pages for about my course. So you are all used to that. That was our MUELE, our eLearning management, and similar to this photograph which is on top, which is like a scan. It should be a scan of the whole university. From the main gate, we should have a photo of the main gate, College of External Studies, Education and External Studies, the mosque, so that a student who opens your page is able to visit your university on the comfort of his seat or his screen. And then the other part was a login. All of you have, I believe I'm talking to the service, well, in terms of where. So you know where to log in from. This is one of my courses. You have already seen that. And this is what I said, it is on top of my course. My students, whether they are in a cafe in town, are able to see the times which they are supposed to be in class. I am chosen. I pick a few, I don't know how they call it, don't know if English is what. So then they can go to my Facebook page. There is no language person here. So I have a book finder. This one, if you could take it down, I'm not saying it properly, but it is enbookfi.org. You find any book that has ever existed. I've found my key books in physics. en.bookfi.org. Okay, so each of the weeks I put objectives. My video lectures, which are already on the internet, the links are already here. This one takes you to the course objective, course outline of last year. This one takes you to all my video lectures. They will play in synchron until all of them are open, repeat again. So I made sure each week. So this is an excerpt from a book. So I screenshot it, put it here. Because there are some symbols which I can't implement inside MUELE itself. I couldn't have drawn such a nice diagram on board when I'm in class. Like if it is a map of Uganda, you wouldn't really have drawn a map of Uganda. Or if it is a flow chart, depending on what you're doing. So I was able to do all this. I'm able to do all this, put it on. These all demos can be seen by students, and I think although it is not yet activated, I have a success. This was my last year project to students, and I put some of their photos. I'm here trying to open their photos so they don't cheat me. I had some photograph of the history. So you have already seen this, which is the participants and the detailed form, all of them. But what you may not realize is that I take their photos on a given place. Behind is a line, so I am able to measure their height. So I know who is tall, I know who is short. Because of that line, the distinction between the blue and all of them, I take their photos, I upload them in the folder, they go in the folder, click on them. When they find theirs, then they put it on their profile. So the process is easy. First lecture, we go out, I take their photos in the line. Then I upload them, they put on their whatever. By the end of first week, everyone's profile is perfect. I think in the interest of time, I just talk about this small one. This was my last semester's course, and almost like the other one, but I didn't want to put a picture. For this course, all the notes were typed. So I would pick a photograph in the notes and put it as the top of the week. So for example, this top of the week, I put the course, these are the notes, the PDF of the notes, and this is the photo from the notes themselves. So students are able to see the preview of the given topic, and then when they enter, they find the same photograph within the notes. And I think in the next 7 minutes or 2, I believe that's what I can share. Can I just play the video? As it plays, then you ask the questions.
It's coming to 2 o'clock.
True, you can ask questions as I load it up, and then just to show you how it looks like when it is playing, not within PowerPoint.
Alright, thanks a lot, Benon. And colleagues, you've listened to Benon, you've seen him demonstrate what he's able to do. And let's give him a round of applause for sharing with us. And certainly, this is a clear demonstration that this is someone who is passionate about using ICTs in education, and I would like to congratulate you, Benon, for your creativity and your passion, and for sharing with us. And a number of key points which, for me, are kind of like standing out. When you were talking about the technology plan, and you're saying that processes are as important as the plan itself. That is something that management, I think in Makerere University, has missed out. They are rushing for policies, they are rushing for decisions that impact on everybody's life, but the process of getting there is oftentimes a little bit compromised. And then the other one is the one-off training is not enough. And I think that has been one of our weaknesses. You know, you think that one-off training, they have got it, and then we think we'll move on. And the emphasis on the institutional level, institutionalization of what we are doing. And there are 2 things that I'm asking myself. One of them is to do with, at institutional level, the question of resourcing and financing in terms of equipment and so on and so forth is one. And then the second one is attitudinal change of both staff and students. So we'll give Benon time to respond, but any other questions or comments? Who would like to go first? Benon, while they are thinking, maybe you could comment on the issues
so
that I have raised.
I just played this to to show you that actually the voice is okay. And on the computer it's fine. The video is fine. But to comment about attitudinal, okay, the one-off training. You know, when you try to train people just because there is funding and it is a requirement that you train, and then when you train, you call people come pick something. I find it people do it just because it was accountability. But as members, really, I feel like you should be able to have invest in your work and you'll harvest big. For me now, I'm comfortable. I know my notes are secure. MUELE, I don't have to go with them at home every day. I know if I'm not there tomorrow, somebody will be able to see me. And if I need feedback, I just show you how I do it, and then you tell me how it is being done. I always envied the people who were teaching me how to teach. And they would tell me it would be nice to get a feedback of how you are doing it. And I looked forward for the day when I would be able to either see myself, and I used to think maybe I have to be a boss to see myself teach. But now, I'm able to see myself teaching and, you know, judge myself. See whether it was better in the morning, after, excuse me. And I'll let that one out when I meditate. So, that feedback is really good. Attitudinal change, when you are championing something, you should make sure that people love you. I use as an example of fashion. People love fashion because they have seen someone in a nice shirt, either a celebrity or somebody. Say, I want to have that shirt. So you, when you are also championing this, you have all these students who will go out there and meet other people. Try to show them that it is really nice. Not using it as if it is a punishment. When I'm making them go to, like, the first time I gave them an assignment of objectives. So the technician phoned them, Googling, and they came and said, what did you give these students? I said, it's an exercise. I said, but they are copying. I said, that's great. Where are they copying from? I said, I'm seeing them on Google and other searches. I said, they are going to get skills of looking for information, instead of always searching for either results by Arsenal or Manchester United. So those are typing skills. And even if we think chatting is a bit childish, but the more you chat with somebody to keep pace, the more your fingers become flexible. And then when it comes to typing, you find your skill. We may not get what to type with to get our fingers skill. But if you are always chatting with like 10 people every day, and you are telling your students, or your students are talking to you, and they improve those skills. Institutional, if it is not by the institution, like now, my head is not using MUELE. My dean is not using MUELE. My deputy principal is not using MUELE. My principal has no idea. That's where you find the problem is. That as we are trying to engineer something, the people there don't know what you are talking about. So it has to be institutional. And if not the pressure, but if the ideas are coming from the parent department or unit, then everyone says, yeah, those people know what they are saying. If mobile learning, which was done by Paul, had been done from somewhere else, and that person is telling you to say, you can't teach using mobile phones. So I hope I have touched on all of them. But if you are an ambassador, practice, walk the talk. I can't come here and tell you, I imagine that we could make videos, but I don't have a video. I'll be a dreamer like I want you to dream.
Okay, any other questions or comments? Yes?
Technology.
Juliana, I see, and then Florence.
I've met the presenter, and he touched on one of our dreams, that our written materials be converted to MUELE. And he also advised us to have a plan. I'm wondering whether collaborate with him. And we draw that plan. Maybe we start one by one until we count 10. Is it possible?
Okay, I think I'm available.
Okay, Florence here, and then we can. Yeah, Florence.
Thank you very much, Benon, for that very interesting presentation. You say you know your students by name and by face, and I don't know how many students you have on the program. I'm looking at a case where we have so many students. How can you make them all involved and know them by name, for example? And then you talked about being very, very enthusiastic. What makes you so enthusiastic? Because I know that we want people to write materials for us. Now we are thinking of having it like this. What makes you enthusiastic about it? Then you talked about the book finder. I wanted to know more about that book finder.
Thank you very much, Benon. I have been very hesitant to ask this question because when I read the statement of what Benon was going to present, it was experiences in MUELE. Unfortunately, I cannot make a difference between his very wide experience in e-learning in ELs all over the world and his experiences of using MUELE. I would have loved to see Benon tell me that there has been a challenge and this is how I've been going about it in my department and other things. I thought those were very inspirational issues that I thought I would get from Benon. Otherwise, of course I have learned from the other side, from the wide e-learning experience and not the MUELE experience. Thank you.
All right. The questions have now become too many. Okay, I think let's take the two of them. There are very few here, and then you make a response, and then we'll end the because it's already 4 o'clock.
Yeah, thank you very much. I just have a simple question. I wanted to know what kind of activities do you give to these learners that encourages them to go to the learning environments that you set up, so that how do you in these activities, is there some collaborative activities, and how do they work on the platforms so that they can be able to do the collaborative work and then submit their work to the collaborative work?
Kenya, and then we will.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. My question concerns a certain conceptual framework which was conducted by in Dr. Mida's research together with Jude and another senior officer from the Education Ministry. And I read Dr. Mida first remind me about that. Is it SMEA? Substitution,
augmentation, modification, and integration.
Yes, I wanted the presenter to tell us whether this kind of usage of ICT in teaching and learning is a substitution, augmentation, at what level it is. Because at one point I saw as if it is like ICT substituting what the teacher actually has to do in class. Because it was using chalkboard and all of those aspects are different from what Mr. Mayer presented last time, how to use Facebook teaching and learning. Thank you.
Okay, just go ahead and respond. There are issues around activities, handling student numbers, there are issues around MUELE, a little bit
I'll
more.
start from the left. It seemed very easier to uneasy. Okay. the concept of presenting is when I met Paul at another e-learning meeting with some people, and then I shared with them how far we are with MUELE, and then he said, why don't you come down there and share with the members? Really coming here and I start reading that sometimes it is down. I'm not having, I already said my head, my dean, my deputy, they are not MUELE. so already I said that, those are the challenges. But I wanted to look at the way forward. As you know, we may be next to CIT, we may be the second ones to be running with a few people. I have one in chemistry and in physics. With a few people who are making sure students are on the learning management system. And then to Madame, the book finder, I got this one when I was in a workshop. We were downloading because the internet was very speedy. It's on the internet, it is accessible everywhere. I shared it with the one librarian one time. I did the communication office of the library because I didn't want to send it out. So I said she looks through, see whether it's authentic, and then shares it. I've used it. They have a part for where you can buy or download. So if it is on the internet, then it is already open. You can't say it is, piracy. It is already there. It is accessible. So I'm sure that when you put in any title, you find the scan book in a nice way to use. Collaboration. Just come over that I'm always available. If there is anything where I can share, only thing I need is to give me a platform, I will share what I want. Then Florence, the enthusiasm. I love my job. I love my job, and I am privileged to be in my job. I don't know how to win, I only look for how to make my job comfortable and better attractive. Yours was about if we had the net, I will show you the objective questions I'm giving students. At the beginning, I give them a quiz. So this quiz makes them go there and click and see the answer saying this is correct, this was wrong. So they get interested. Two, by putting those graphics which I put, and the student is able to go there and see. For example, on one of the sections, it's about, for example, here. I know you don't do physics, but I can just give an idea what is happening. That E is a component of a wave moving in a vertical direction. That H is moving in a horizontal direction. Imagine I'm in the class busy doing this. This one is moving in a horizontal direction. This one is moving in a vertical direction. They see it, but they do not conceptualize it as it is on the board, seeing that the red is horizontal and the blue is vertical and is propagating through a medium. So when students go and start looking at such illustrations, they become interested. But remember, I have to do it blended way. This is, as of now, is acting as a blackboard. A notes board. Where when I put an assignment, apart from when it is an objective assignment, they will still just come here and download notes. How do I control them? My notes are unprintable until towards the end. Otherwise, for now, if you make them printable PDFs, they will print them and always come in your class and sit and look at you. Two, about making materials. If your handwriting is good, once you have written them, you scan them. I have scanned notes because it is not easy to type all my equations. So I wrote them, scanned them, and I upload them weekly. I've arranged them in weekly basis. I will share with all of you the link to my course as guests so that you see more if you are interested to see how it goes. Concerning either whether this is an institution or not, this is not an institutional undertaking, the one of the video. It's a personal dream which came through when I got resources to buy camera. And my interest is, can we archive our, like for example, we have had, is it now the lead? he taught me psychology, and I felt I'm a psychologist. But then imagine if we could now sit in his lectures and watch him teach and give demonstrations. We would be the best if we had that resource center here, where students who just want to remember him can go there and he teaches them. Or when a younger fellow has taught, just tell them, you go to our resource center and we leave our legends lectures. We would be far away. So I'm looking at archiving knowledge and be able to, you know, this, someone is leaving and everyone saying, is retiring? And there's nothing we can remain with at the end of the day. So that's the project of Colin knows better. We can explain more about it. So that's why I'm doing this. It's not a departmental initiative, and I started this by, video taking the tests. That was my primary job. Put a camera and it supervises for me the test. When it worked perfectly, because my students always, you find them strictly on their papers, they can't turn like this, because if they turn, they will be in trouble. Because you are all laughing, but I can share with you, although I'm worried that it is unedited. And so it's, if things can't be changed automatically, you look for another way of changing it. So let's see whether this video could show you how some students were busy peeking around. So this is an exam. A test. So they are far away up there. I zoom them nearby. So when they do this, I was just helping a friend to supervise here. When I show them the first time, and I show them like this young man was busy overpeeping on a friend's work. When I show them what I'm able to do with my small camera, next time they all concentrate. They don't try to put their eye where it doesn't belong. There was a student somewhere who was trying to pick somewhere. I turn quickly, so I pretend I'm looking this way, but the camera is looking on this other side. So this is how the dream started. And then now it improved to catching me. In the future, why not? If we get money, we can, implement the whole room to be able to capture it. And for your information, I bought a system which can automatically capture the videos in the class and even process them in 15 minutes. And we have a web page where there is some video part, the slide part where you put a cursor and then it shows you the big slide. So there is a future. We only need to have the will.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much. Maybe what we can call knowledge. How much of this will you be able to do in knowledge?
Yeah, we know that we have a project for multimedia teaching, setting up multimedia lab, where we can be able to, as I said, be able to record ourselves teaching in a friendly environment, an environment which has all the acoustics and so on. Then we have some trainings for e-teaching. I'm sure Benon can be a very good trainer for that session. Then for trainings for e-content development and provision of some course, CYP course into a blended course. And all these I think will be able to feature what we've seen here, and to be able to feature in those courses. it's good that we have these pockets of expertise that can be able to help us in trying to consolidate our efforts.
Yeah, and there will also be, I think, how many PhDs? I think two PhDs for ICTs in education, one man, one woman. But there will be quite a number of scholarships for masters in instructional design and technology. So that project, I think, is going to give us an aid as a university to try to build up a bigger profile. And for the master's programs, we think that we're just not going to be forced to come up. We need to indicate interest in the area because we need the passion. Without the passion, it will be wasted. So I think, colleagues, we can continue the chat online. But for now, I'd like us to say thank you to Ben, and let's give him a round of applause. Thank you very much for coming. I know that our communications officer is going to share this with us on our website. Good day.
Thank you too for listening.